meeting of the Eastham Search Committee. You turn that off. Thank you. So we're in the meeting of the Eastham Search Committee. This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local channel 8 and through the town website at eastham-ma.gov. Today is the 28th of April. We are in the small meeting room of Town Hall. In attendance are myself, Kate Paradise, Chair. We've got Gergana, Aleksieva, Merrill, Davidson, D. Mattfeldt, Sue Maren, and we have a guest, Joanne Berlinden, and she is the chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals. And in honor of her time, I am going to, as chairperson, move our agenda around a bit, and I'll give you the floor. If you could make sure you're speaking into the microphone, that would be great. And if all of us could make sure that we have the microphones pointed towards us, that would be great.
Thank you very much for
You're
having me.
welcome.
The Zoning Board of Appeals is a regulatory board. It consists of 5 regular members and normally 2 alternates. Of the 5 regular members, 4 of them are still working full-time. So on occasion, it's difficult to find a quorum to pass an applicant's request for a special permit or a variance. We need 4 positive votes. And there have been times when I'm down to only 3 regular members, at which point I would have to seat an alternate. I have only 1 alternate right now. The last time we were in a situation pretty serious was 3 years ago, when I lost 2 full-time members and I had only 1 alternate. So I was able to seat 1 alternate, but I was still short a full-time member. So I'm coming back to you now, 3 years later. I can see in the future that we could possibly be in that same position again. And if I don't have 5 full-time seated members, we can't do business.
Right, of course. So just for the record, quorum is one of the things that we look at on the search committee, particularly with our regulatory boards. And Merrill, I apologize to you. I had said I was going to get somebody to take notes. So I see you taking notes, but we will, after Joanne departs, we'll get somebody to take notes for you, even if I have to do it.
And I don't think the AI he has it working today.
That's why I join to my phone so I can use them on paper.
Are you doing that with your phone right now? Okay, all right. Do you mind taking notes then? Perfect. Okay, there we go. So getting back to,
So
your
I'm-
timing is wonderful because we have town meeting coming up on
May
the
5th.
the 5th of May. And one of the things that is on our agenda, and we will be seated at the tables outside of the auditorium at the high school, and we will be recruiting. And
Wonderful.
we'll have a list of essentials, and we will add you to the top of the
Please.
list of being essentials.
Please,
We can't guarantee
I know.
that we get people for you, but if we have this fully in our heads,
Right.
it's really important for us to be able to do that.
Right.
Sue Maren here is
Your
your liaison, but we all help each other. We have 1 member who's not here today. And she's recovering from medical stuff. And so we all step in and help each other. So
Okay.
having said that, we'll all be having that in the forefront of our minds.
Right. Thank you.
You're not the only
I'm
committee.
sure I'm not.
You know, we have 1 or 2 others that
Right.
are having the same issue. And, you know, one of the things that you can do to support us and people on your committee can do to support us, Joanne, is if you hear people having conversations, either positive or negative, about the town of Eastham and what we do and how we do it.
Mhm.
You can get curious with people and just smile and say to them, are you volunteering for the town?
Right,
And, you know, if you're not, there are lots of different volunteer positions available with the town. Some of them take a lot of time.
Mhm.
I'm recovering from one and we're working back up again, the finance committee. But there are others that, you know, meet monthly and, you know, the meetings are fun. You build community, you make new friends.
That's true. Oh,
So-
that's true, yes.
Joan, how often does the zoning board of appeals meet?
We meet on the first Thursday of every month.
So once a month?
Yes,
First
in the
What
big,
time?
big meeting room
Okay,
at 5 o'clock.
okay. So you're trying to make a space for the people who work.
Yes,
Great,
yes.
great.
A
Okay.
couple of them work from home. One has to travel as far as California. Not all the time, but
Mhm,
he does.
mhm.
Um,
So you're making a space also by meeting by Zoom and having people Zoom in and all that.
Yes, they can.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
yes, and Maura Healy just extended the
Yes,
The-
let the whole team
yeah.
know we were a little bit scared.
I think a lot of
This
people-
meeting.
I think a lot of people-
I think that's why she extended it. I think she heard from a
Yeah,
lot of people.
yes, it was, you know, a lot of people have learned how to do business and it's great to do business in person, but if you have folks that, particularly here, who go to Florida or who are
Yes.
traveling,
Yeah.
you know, I've been known to join a meeting from, Italy. It might be 10 o'clock at night, but I
But you
can do
do
it.
it, yes. Yeah.
So.
Do you have criteria for the people that I remember Joanne, Gail talking about you needing people that understood certain.
Well, it's helpful if they have some understanding of building processes. And the zoning laws, of course, but we interview people. There is a collection of the zoning bylaws that I give to each of the members. We have occasional workshops, sometimes joint with planning board, sometimes with Paul Legg and his assistant for the new changes in zoning regulations, that sort of thing. One of the fellas on the board right now is an attorney. One is an engineer. Another he's in some kind of sales work, I believe. And then there's an IT person. So
It's a good range of
We have-
people. That's,
yes, we
that's
do.
good diversity.
yes,
Couple of things. One of the things that we're addressing today is we're looking at the people whose end dates, whose terms are completed. And I
Mhm.
see that actually your term is completed.
Well,
So
I'm about-
I assume you're going to be,
I'm about to write a letter to Jackie Beebe and to the select board asking for a second term.
okay, and actually, I think you're not maxed out, which is really good.
Well, 3 years ago, when we were about to not be functional, two of the permanent board members, one had to leave town, one died. And I wrote to the select board and to Jackie Beebe, explaining the situation and the fact that even if I, put that alternate in place, we still didn't have a quorum.
Yeah.
And I asked if they would waive the 1 year sit out
Mhm.
before I could come back as apply to be a part of the
Okay,
board
so
again.
you had maxed out.
So I had maxed out at that point. So then they granted that request.
Mhm.
So this technically is my first 3 year term.
Okay.
And I'm about to, as I say, write a letter to both of those.
If you could,
entities.
even when you leave here, if you've got time.
Yeah.
If you go upstairs to see Kendra Menard and Linda Sassy.
Yeah,
That would head things
And
off
get-
at the pass.
yes,
Because
and get
we
me,
can't lose
get me
you.
on, no, get me on the agenda for the,
Well, it's not even that. They may be able to just know that you're going for a second term. If it's a second term, then we're okay, and that way they can coordinate with Jackie if you even do it, you know, sometimes it's better to accomplish it in person.
Sure, sure, I will do that.
So, yeah, if they're in the office up there, so. Any other questions for Joanne?
So you have to be a full-time resident to be on this committee?
Yes.
Because it's regulatory.
Yes, it's
Yes.
regulatory.
Yeah,
You have to be a
that's
full-time
key.
permanent
Yes, it
resident.
is.
That's major,
Okay,
that's all.
Yep.
And,
So-
and as I say, any kind of interest or understanding of building procedures, and of course, as I say, they would be provided with the complete book of zoning bylaws. So that they have reference work.
only
And you
because,
can train people up, so the people that sit as the alternates can.
That's
move
exactly
into
what,
it.
that's what the alternate position does. They
Great.
come to the meetings, they go visit the properties of the cases in question.
Yeah.
They can ask questions at the meetings.
Mhm.
They can do everything but vote.
Okay.
And they get the training sort of while they're sitting there. I mean, and as I say, we do have workshops occasionally. So that when I have to sit an alternate,
Mhm.
they're familiar enough with the procedures that they can step in and
Right.
take over for the person who can't be there that evening.
Right, great. Anything else, folks?
So I just have a practical question since I'm the liaison. I'd reach out to you by email. Is that the best way to communicate or is phone better for you?
Let me give you my home phone number
Okay.
and my email.
Great.
Okay, email JL Verlinden, VERLINDEN.
Yep.
@gmail.com.
Okay,
And my home phone, 508-255-1372.
great.
Okay,
Okay, I will be in touch.
Joanne, thank you for joining us.
thank you very, very much
Very-
for letting me come.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Oh,
this is what we're here for.
anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would be happy to stay longer. Unfortunately, I have a very sick dog at home,
I'm so sorry.
and the vet is coming to the house at 12 o'clock.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
I need to.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
We will be thinking of
Good luck with everything.
I was thanking you ahead of time. I know you're doing, you're great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Joanne.
Hmm.
Ugh.
That is,
You're gonna have to go through it, through it.
and you know,
It's the worst. It is the worst.
You feel good.
He's going to the vet this
Decline it.
morning.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he's not where she is, but
Yeah,
I lost Violet while I was in Italy.
yeah, oh, that's right.
that's right.
And,
Yeah.
and it was just this past week that I had everything in the garage, all her stuff, and I took it over to the Animal Rescue League.
Yeah,
And I had this just wave, and when I was donating everything, I just was
Mm-hmm.
sobbing, and I looked at the woman who was taking the donations, and I was like, I'm so sorry for being, I was a mess.
yeah.
And she said, we see this all the time. But they were really nice
They
about
do,
it. And
They
I had
do.
promised a friend of mine one of the dog beds, and I completely forgot. And so now I feel
Oh,
even
well.
worse that I gave
Okay,
away.
it's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
good thing, so.
My advice when the time comes, and people told me this and I ignored it too. I waited about a week too long because I just couldn't
You
do
couldn't
it.
do
And
it.
looking
just had-
back, I should have done it
Yeah,
a
we had
week
a friend
earlier.
that
when
was
it's
sick.
better.
And you know that with
We're all
Violet, she
guilty.
never showed me that
Yeah.
she was sick until
Mm.
Yeah,
I left her with her friends, and then she let them know I'm really sick.
yeah, they want to be
Yeah.
alone
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes,
Away
and
from
you gotta honor
Mhm.
that, and,
Yeah.
you know,
I went
it's not
through-
about me, it was about her, and of course, the second meeting she was sick. it was-
But it is the worst thing to
It's,
go through.
it's awful, so. All right, back to our agenda. I am so grateful that Joanne came. That's
good.
just, it's
Yeah, that's
wonderful
nice.
because it really does show that
Mhm.
there's establishing.
was good
some real
because
Confidence.
I haven't been, she hasn't been responsive. So here she is, so that was
There you
good.
go. So it's a miracle.
When it was like
from heaven.
Joanne's like, oh.
Thank you, Pope Francis.
Yes. He's already helping
Yeah.
us.
All right, so we have some minutes that need approval. I brought copies for everybody. Hopefully everyone has
Oh,
copies, and I would take a motion to
I motion.
Do you need, copies of anything here, madam? Because I've got them here for you if you need them. So,
Oh, I'm good.
oh, you're good,
I
okay.
got it.
I motion to approve the minutes for the meeting of March 17th.
Okay, that's D.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
I second.
Gergana, second? Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor, just raise your hand so I can, okay, unanimous.
Okay, I will post them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Done.
Done, we're done. Okay, so I did print out the expiration report for all of you, and I had sent it out. And then I also brought with me a vacancy report. And the vacancy report is the current vacancies. It's not as of the 30th. So I don't know how much value it has other than what is currently vacant, which we have been going over month by month ad nauseum, but I think we need to probably acknowledge the fact that we still have some, I'm just going to go down the list. The 1651 Forest Advisory Board has an open seat. D, I think that's yours. And-
Yeah, it is, and all of their seats are appointed by another agency within the town.
Okay, so we're just gonna, okay. The Board of Assessors has an alternate open. Sue, is there any?
No.
Okay,
Not. Because I forgot, somebody suggested that I reach out to, and was it it was the group, I couldn't remember who I was supposed to reach out to and I didn't write it
it's all
down.
right.
I'm just wondering if anybody remembers.
You mean
Chamber of Commerce was that?
You're like us? Thank you very much, Sue.
I think it was the Chamber of Commerce. Is that
Okay.
does that sound right?
It could be,
Yeah, they're looking for somebody with real estate experience who knows. the
okay,
real
yeah,
estate
that
market.
it was there's somebody that's a member of the Chamber of Commerce, possibly.
Does anyone
um,
have a name of somebody I can?
Well,
start?
you can start with Jim Russo.
Okay,
He
I'm writing
is,
it down this time.
he is the person at the chamber, and he's also the person at the
Okay.
Visitor Service
When
Board.
is he retiring?
He is retiring in May.
Okay.
And we'll get to that in a second. All right. The Board of Health, we have one seat open and we have two alternates open, and this is a critical need along with Joanne's for her committee. I have Hilda Maroli coming back from Florida with Roy. She is going to speak to Hope Glavin, who is the chair of the Board of Health, and I'm hoping that that will be one of the seats that's filled. But the Board of Health is one of the committees that we really need to be paying attention to. There's a perspective in town that all they do is sewer. It's not necessarily that. But we do need people with sort of a health background. We'll see what happens at town meeting. Hopefully there may be something. Ellen is unable to be with us today because of a death in the family, but the Conservation Commission, does anybody know about this particular need? Is this one, I think this has been sitting for a while, right? All right, well, it's one that we should probably think about. The Council on Aging Board of Directors, there's going to be a second opening. Their group is 9, and right now, we're intentionally placing that group, that on hold, because there's some stuff that needs to settle down on that committee, and I don't think we want to intentionally put anybody on that group right now. Ellen also has the Cultural Council. It's seat number 8, which is a large group. I'm just going to bypass that for the moment, and I'm bypassing the Old Town Center Historic District Commission because they feel like they're absolutely fine. So that moves us to the Recycling Committee, Dee.
Yeah, I think, what if they have somebody there? They have a seat open, is that correct? Or-
Mhm.
I cannot get through to the chair in any way, shape or form, and it doesn't seem like anyone else can as well. So, and the chair himself is, he's terming out as of June. So
Who's the chair?
Andrew Shearer?
Okay, and there's 4 people coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Amy Ekman is your select board liaison.
Mm-hmm.
My recommendation would be to reach out to Amy and the two of you put your heads together and put
And see what
together
the-
some kind of a
Okay,
plan.
I'll do that, yeah.
Because it may get mentioned, you know, I don't think it's gonna get mentioned at town meeting, but of course, we've got a second town meeting now coming up in June.
Yeah.
So,
So, you know what, I'll reach out to Amy after the town meeting.
And
Yeah.
we recently interviewed Andrew for open space.
Andrew Shearer for
Yeah,
open
so I
space?
can also try to reach out. to him.
Oh, yeah, just tell him.
tell them to return phone calls.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's emails, I email him.
Okay.
And-
I'll
Oh, and
try
I
to-
think I did text him.
Okay, you can also,
Neither one.
I would try, you know, if all else fails, I know we rely on email and we rely on, you know, sometimes when people see emails coming in from Gmail accounts or something, I know right now I'm
They
getting
don't, yeah.
slammed with spam through Comcast. I was on the phone with them last night for 2 hours about the mess that they're in right now. So, you know, I pick up the phone and call people
Yeah,
and leave them a
okay.
voicemail and let them know who you are. If all else fails, make that personal connection if you have time.
Mhm.
Okay. Where are we at? We are at search and I'm letting that go right now. There is one person on search who is coming up for reappointment.
That's fine.
And you guys have to decide whether or not you want her to continue.
And who might that?
I can leave the room and you can have a discussion. Okay, we have the task force on zoning and regulation. Gergana, it looks
That's
like
fine.
there is a bunch of stuff here.
But the stuff and it's not new and I guess after the town meeting, we can connect with them. I can connect with them and see what's.
Yeah, and check
What's
with
the plan?
Jamie too. She's fresh back from Morocco and she's all zen, so. You know, she's, there was a group that went, I almost went with them and thank God I did not because they did the 3 things that I'm most terrified of. One was going up in a hot air balloon. One was working with a snake charmer with cobras. And if I see a snake, if there's one outside of town hall, I'm not walking in the door. And the other was, they did ATVs across
Oh,
deserts, so, you know, so anyway.
Adventurous little group.
Yeah, along with doing yoga every day. The zoning board of appeals, we now know, we just talked about that. And, it looks like,
We did finally fill the vacant slot in Affordable Housing Trust.
yes, it's not on the list anymore.
Yay.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Chairperson called me. She woke up and, but she had somebody in mind that she wanted it. So we actually had 2 candidates that we interviewed, both very well qualified.
Nice.
So that worked out.
Okay.
You think one of them wants to be on the zoning board?
Yeah.
I know, I was just
You
thinking the
know,
same
it
thing,
could be.
Sue.
I mean,
Yeah, are they,
The 2,
Qualified?
actually, they,
go for it.
Yeah,
let me reach out to Bob.
Yeah,
yeah.
just because, yeah, there are a couple of vacancies here, and if there's somebody who wanted to be
Yeah,
on this
let me
one,
see.
maybe they'd be interested
Yeah,
in one of these others.
We did.
I won't
mention,
hog the zoning board, maybe they
we
want to
did
be on
have,
one of yours.
You know, the candidate, I didn't have to notify the candidate, the the chairperson did for this committee.
Right.
I asked her to do that, as a courtesy. And he knew, and we told both candidates ahead of time that there are other committees that need help.
Mhm.
And that even though you're not selected for this one, there are other opportunities. So they were communicated to
Great.
several times during the interview.
Okay, yeah, so maybe if they know this, if you say he can be on
Okay.
this one or this one or this one,
Right.
they know, raise their
Yeah.
hand.
And the other piece of it too is the Board of Health. All of these have,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
circular
Select Board,
alignments, so,
zoning, Board of Health.
yeah, those are the three.
um,
Those are the three
and
committees.
There's also, I can't remember his name, but he termed off of the planning board.
Yeah.
Task force.
on zoning.
So
Get your
when we
number.
had this last vacancy for the planning board.
Let's not forget.
He had termed off.
Who was that
I
turned
can't
off?
remember his name,
Okay, all right.
but he might be good for a zoning board just because he's clearly dealt in that.
All right, and I have a couple of people that have moved to Eastham permanently. I've now been to their home. They're members of the church that I go to, Holy Spirit over in Orleans. They're both retired. He's an artist. She's a retired Episcopal priest, and they both want to get busy with the town. So, they'll be coming to town meeting. I invited them to stop by the table, to grab a brochure, which reminds me, all the brochures are in the back of my car. And everything should be ordered. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Just very quickly, let's just take a quick scan at this expiration report. I'm glad that Joanne showed up because it could be that the select board made an exception for one term in order to allow someone else, but it may be that, I don't know if she has to go through another exception. So I'm glad she's going upstairs to talk to Jackie, and that's a select board Jackie decision.
And will they just let us know, or should I connect with Robert Bruns?
I would connect with Robert Bruns, and I know he's been showing up at meetings on Zoom. I'm assuming he's going to be here in person for May 5th.
Okay.
So after that meeting or before, you might want to just go up and introduce yourself.
Okay.
And let him know that it's, timing is everything. They're going to have a lot on their minds with this
Yeah.
town meeting coming up, but and then we've got, like I said, we've got the special town meeting that in June, because of this whole, we can get the loans, we can get the grants, no, we can't, yes, we can, but it's too late to put it on the warrant. Now we've got to have a special town meeting. So this is all about the
It's life, in the
wastewater.
fast lane.
Yeah, yeah,
In the expensive lane.
Yeah.
God, shocking how
No
much
matter
this
what.
stuff costs.
yeah.
It's a lose-lose.
Yeah. So in terms of the expiration report, if anybody just wants to pipe up and, express if you have any concerns or any confidence that everything will be fine with your committee, I can say that with search, unless people don't want me, I intend to re-up with another term.
Yeah, the planning board, I had reached out, and the two whose terms are expiring, one actually just has gone to his first meeting. They're both intending to stay on, Rob Young and Stephen Nunnally.
That makes life easy, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's great. In terms, so we can check off the search committee. Find search, okay, that's search. One piece that is going to be concerning is the Visitors Tourism and Promotion Services Board. Jim Russo is retiring. He is the executive director of the Eastham Chamber of Commerce. He's also the chair of the Visitors Tourism and Promotion Services Board and has been forever. there are three seats. One is a Chamber of Commerce appointment, and I am working with Kathy Bonnell on that because she's the chair of the Chamber of Commerce members. I'm encouraging her to put another member of the Chamber of Commerce onto this entity. They are interviewing new executive directors, but I'm coming up for reappointment as well as Kathy Bonnell. I'm hoping Kathy will say yes. We'll talk offline about whether or not I have the bandwidth for this. I'm hoping that someone shows up at town meeting and is interested in this committee. Okay, because this committee needs fresh blood. When I came in, it was the same group that's been doing it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Amen. And the problem now is that without Jim's guiding hand, I don't know what's going to happen. So, I've been documenting, we've all been documenting. So, and things are going to change clearly with the chamber as well. So, so there's some, I don't think we need to worry, but I'm looking at recycling. We talked about that, Dee, that potentially. Just so you folks know, and Dee and I had this question and I couldn't remember. It was my aging brain. When you're reappointed, you have to be sworn in again. You don't have to be interviewed. You don't have to go through the whole rigmarole, but you do have to be.
Yeah, the town clerks will send a letter out.
Right.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to do anything proactive.
No, so apparently they'll send a letter out and say, your term is up.
Oh, that's good.
Are you interested in re-upping?
Oh,
And
okay.
then you have to go to town clerk and get sworn in.
And the only hiccup may be if we have people that are terming out, they've been through their terms. And if they're essential, the way that Joanne has been, the select board will vote in a public meeting to make an exception. And then there also may be that a person wants to term off, which is why we're in touch with our chair people, because they're going to probably hear about it first. This is what happened with the Council on Aging. And then there may be the occasional 1 in a million. There's a person on a committee who could be, they're waiting for the person for their term to come to an end so that they can not reappoint them. So again, that's very sensitive and it needs to be handled very delicately.
Why are you looking at me? No. Kidding.
So, which may be me.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the scoop with that. So let's talk about town meeting. I was in touch with Rich. I sent him everything, and thank you again, both of you, for all of your hard work. The only thing that was questionable was the banner. Kayla did not recommend the seal that were using for the banner. So I don't know what happened. I wrote back and I said, please use whatever you feel is
Exactly,
appropriate.
and it's an open file, she can, everything that I sent.
Right, exactly.
It's editable, so.
Right, right.
That was just an example.
So I'm gonna check with them, but we should have everything. Are all of you, Ellen will be at town meeting and willing to sit at the table. Are all of you available?
I have one caveat. My daughter's due date is Thursday. they now call it the eviction date of when she'll be induced is actually Monday of town meeting.
Great.
So and she's in Chicago, so if it turns out, I'm just going out for a day and coming back, and then I'm going back later. So if that happens to be the day, I won't be able to
Okay.
come, but otherwise I plan to be
Well,
there.
this is why we have a number of people
Yeah.
on the committee so that we can all support each other and people will be aware of the need of your committee so that they can support you and help you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sit at the table because I'm on the finance committee and evidently we're going to be seated.
Up by the
Up on the
board,
stage.
yeah. That's fine.
Yeah,
Where people can,
Can you go?
I think.
Will
it's
you be
Cinco de
wearing
Mayo.
protective
I'm
clothing?
afraid
It's Cinco de Mayo.
It's Cinco
Yeah.
de Mayo, it's like, it's
But
a holiday.
Yeah. It's a holiday, can we bring more
Why are they doing
readers?
this on? no, I'm just
you know what? I think they should be giving every single person who walks into
We
that
need a
thing,
margarita.
offering them a sombrero and a margarita.
Oh,
And
yeah.
telling them to calm
Oh,
down.
Is it usually on a Monday afternoon?
Monday evening, it's better to have it on a Monday evening. They used to have them on Saturday during the day
Yes.
on the field.
Yeah.
that
And the
was
sun
last
would
year.
come out and people were not in protective gear and, everybody would end up with sunstroke. It was brutal. At
Last
least,
year,
You're
frozen
frozen.
to death.
Yeah.
right. And the thing too
Now it's
is
indoors.
that when you're during the day, there's no end in sight. At least at night, people
Yeah, not out.
we may try to get through it, let's hope. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
What time? If the meeting starts, what time?
5:30. So I think we should probably get there about
5.
4:45, 5 o'clock
Yeah.
to set up
Set
and
up.
everything.
Yeah.
And that way we can get decent parking.
Yeah,
So they'll
that-
have a
that-
table for.
I remember
Where-
yes, we ordered a table. I remember going to a town meeting and it went so long and it was at night.
Hmm.
I was with a friend of mine and we went out the wrong side of the building and we forgot where the car was. We couldn't remember and you park, it's just like. And we didn't have
So bring
margaritas.
popcorn.
Do we need to stay
I know.
table the whole time?
No, once the meeting starts, y'all need to be inside to vote.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why. I'm-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Yeah.
So does anybody have a popcorn maker? And
Lollipops. I guess it's gonna be in menu.
I'll bet there's
Oh,
seven.
here we go
again.
And the
So we did so well last year.
Yeah. Popcorn and
I think we need
thinking out loud.
vodka and Valium.
No, margaritas will work very nicely.
Yeah, I think it's because the meeting will be.
Yeah.
All right, what else is on our agenda?
So they're going to bring the table for us?
I hope, and if they don't
And
bring the
what-
table
where-
for it
where-
and it hasn't arrived,
What
then
about
we'll
the
get a
s-
table.
What about the swag,
It's all
every-
been ordered. I'm hoping that it's up in Rich's office. I'm gonna be checking with him.
Oh, all right.
timing
What
is
I'm
everything.
asking Kate is, do you need help getting it into school? Or
I
is
will,
someone
I'll
else
be,
gonna
yeah,
need
I'll,
to,
I'll
do somebody
pull
else
up
do
and I'll have
that?
everything in the
Rich,
back of my car,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Sure.
And maybe Rich will bring stuff over. I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can store all
All
of it
right,
here.
so you'll be in touch with us and let us know.
Uh-huh. Yes,
You'll
ma'am.
go.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And
Yeah, no
because the
problem.
auditorium is brand new, they may have tables already outside with lovely
We-
comfy chairs
We
and
don't know.
reading lamps and, whatever.
Margaritas.
So,
Big screen TV.
yeah, right.
All right, that's
Um,
good. We're
yeah.
good for the, and whoever, everybody's gonna be there, that can be there.
Yeah, charcuterie boards for us. Whatever.
Do you,
And obviously Joanne brought this up, but you all know that, and I sent it to you that the COVID restrictions,
Yes.
have been, we're through another couple of years, so we're okay for our committees, in terms of that. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think we're okay. I will share with you that Ellen is going to be teaching a class this summer. She really wants to continue on the committee, so I'm hoping she'll be with us next month. She may not be with us during the summer, but she will be working on filling her committees.
What's she teaching?
Water aerobics,
Cool.
yeah.
Maybe we should have a meeting in the water aerobics class.
Yeah, having great ponding mostly, right? I think that's what she said, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing a great pond now?
She is.
Yeah,
Oh,
She's
not the one
doing,
at the
she's doing
gym.
Willie's
She's
as
doing
well.
Willie's too.
Yeah, I think so. But then she was asked to do
God
this
love her.
one.
she's very fit.
Yeah. this-
Yeah. Ex- Except when she just did her knee and it didn't come out so good.
Yeah.
And can I ask a question?
Sure.
So because our meeting is always at the same time that I have the meeting at work,
sure.
and it's always been. And I just kind of feel, always I have to apologize myself, I just miss the meeting and it's like Monday meeting and it's always important. Do you think we can just move the meeting with 1 hour later? So it's not at the same time or earlier?
Or maybe a different day.
Yeah, so. Monday,
You know,
Thursday.
and I've sort of been in the mindset of the search committee meeting always is on, you know, the
Third Monday.
third Monday of the month. And Mondays seem to be a little bit challenging because we've got these Monday holidays and then the prep work
Mhm.
for.
Mhm.
So, okay, so let's just do a quick. Just go around the table. If people have their phones, which day of the week would be better for you? If we were to switch the search committee meeting beginning FY 26, so that would be our July meeting. Is there a day of the week and a time that's better for all of you?
I'm a Wednesday.
That's what I am.
I am
Oh.
too.
It's so funny.
Good
I'm a
job.
Wednesday as
Wednesday
well.
morning is better for me.
Yep,
Okay.
Monday,
How about you,
Tuesdays.
Sue?
Yeah, that's fine, because all of, like, I have a Monday commitment now, but the stuff in Newton is all like on the academic year. So that will all, and it goes away for the summer. So when I'm doing the fall schedule, I can just schedule around this.
Wednesday is okay?
Wednesday works. for you.
All right, let me,
Is the timing okay, 10 still?
Well, not really, because I'm 9 to 5, working 9 to 5.
Yeah, no, working 9 to 5, yes, it
And
would be
maybe
between
the search-
9 and then get to work at 10 or.
9 is gonna be better if it's not too early for you, and 9 is
I
gonna
can
be
do
better.
Well, we come
I
in
can do
here
that.
without
No,
coffee.
we have the whole day.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that also
If that
helps.
works for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better because, always it's like,
It's
Yeah,
not gonna
we-
work for Ellen.
we can
Wednesdays.
ask her.
She works Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Oh,
Oh,
It's not gonna work for Ellen.
all right, and a lot of this is about
Ellen.
Ellen as well.
Tuesday?
Do you know what hours she works?
I think it's Willie's, I don't know, not between 9 and 10 she starts.
Okay, so what about,
We could,
how do
Not
people
days.
feel about a 3:30 or a 4 o'clock?
no, well, I'm sorry, I'm.
No,
You
it's
have a right to
okay.
your opinion.
No, I just, it's like your whole day is.
yeah.
I know
really-
what, Wednesday evening I'm at the Oaks.
You're-
cooking,
you're
Especially in the
busy.
summer, so.
Yeah. Um,
Tuesday mornings. You
Well,
can,
No,
Tuesday's tough for me.
Gergana, does a lunchtime work better for you? Because it's sort of a,
no, I'm flexible, but when it's a pattern, always
Yeah.
one and the same day and the same time.
And we do need to have it be a pattern because we
Oh, yeah.
need the consistency.
That's why I'm saying it has to be,
And
it's just a question, so
so your team meetings are on Mondays, though?
Mondays and
Okay.
Thursdays.
Okay, so
Monday.
Wednesday might be a better,
Wednesday is fine for me, yes.
but you
Wednesdays
could also do Tuesday.
And Tuesday,
Okay.
yeah.
Tuesdays are no good for me.
Tuesday's like the-
yep.
So I think raise your hand if you can do Wednesday. All right. You say that Ellen is,
She works on Wednesdays at Willie's, does the aerobics class, but I don't know the time. I don't know if it's at 9 o'clock or it's at 10 o'clock. If it's at 10 o'clock, then she could do the 9 o'clock here and just leave early if she needs to, or we could be done by that time.
Mhm.
So Ellen would be just questioning what time she has to be at work.
can people do a 9 o'clock
Yes.
Yeah.
on Wednesdays.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
let's ask.
will
her.
you, are
Talk
you
to
able
Ellen?
to get to Ellen
Yeah,
right after this meeting and find
well,
out? from
she's
her?
at the funeral, but I'll text her.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Who died?
I was just seeing if Willie's posted a
Hmm?
schedule.
Who died?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I go.
It's her aunt, her mother's sister. It's the last of the generation. So it's a little poignant.
Okay.
So she teaches Aquafit on Wednesdays from 9:30 to 10:30.
That a girl? That's when it's at Willie's?
Yeah,
9:30 to
10:30
10:30,
on
so that's right. in
on
the middle.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
How about 8:45?
I
Not
think
on Monday.
we're
Monday it's
this
Carol.
meeting,
Do 11?
could we do 11?
I can.
I can.
All right. 11 on Wednesdays.
She might be wet, but her class will be over.
Gia, are you okay with 11?
Yeah, I could do it, but like you said, yeah, that's okay,
It's,
sure.
are
So she's.
I'm looking at you. Are you
9:30
okay?
is the,
9:30 to
9:30,
10.
10:30.
She, on the schedule, it's Wednesday and Friday, so maybe hers
Okay.
changes for the summer, but
No, I don't think so.
No,
She's
it's
coming on
not
Mondays.
Willie's, that she's teaching a water aerobics class. It's not through Willie's, it's another
all
one.
right, well, her
at
Willie's
Greer.
one is Wednesday and Friday from
Right.
9:30 to 10:30.
All right,
So
all right.
are
so
you
11
okay with,
a.m.?
are you okay
Yeah.
with 11?
Yeah,
You swear? Look me in the
it's
eye.
one day a month, I can do it.
Okay.
So when will this start?
Hopefully it'll start in July. We'll continue with June because it's been posted.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna check to make sure that this room is available and that we can
Right.
do it.
There you go.
So Wednesdays, 11. And, it'll be either the first, second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month. I just don't know. I'm gonna go
Oh,
upstairs
so
and check.
depending on what.
Right,
what's
what's
available.
available,
Okay.
and so the last thing is, with the beginning of our new fiscal year, on July 1st, Sue has agreed to step into the role as chair. I can certainly be the vice chair, meaning if you're not here, I can step in. We will need a person to take notes. With thanks to you, Merrill. I think we can rotate it, but the problem is there's not a consistency, so we just need someone. We can take turns taking notes, but one person has to be the warehouse.
Yeah.
And the conduit of getting the approved minutes.
Well, I can still do that.
Okay, so you're willing to do
I'm willing
that?
to continue doing that
Okay,
as long as,
I'll take
somebody can take notes and then pass them along. And then I can distribute it to everybody. I mean,
Okay,
it's
so-
not a big deal.
you're willing to do
Yes.
And
that?
get the edits. in.
Okay, so then Gergana can do that.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
That's really good. And the two of you can work together. And I think again, getting those notes out to everybody and everybody getting your notes to not creating, a new document, but just being consistent about where the corrections are. I think it's helpful for you, right? And for you? Okay, right.
Do you use the AI or do you you're gonna use?
She's using it.
So I'll test it after the
Perfect.
meeting.
The AI is very interesting and I like some of the format that it uses is very good because it uses things like next steps.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps you in line a little more.
Mhm.
And this particular format is a little cumbersome, I think, and. There's no bullets in there, there's no, I was used to, in business having bullets and
Mhm.
very succinct, one page, this is what we do, so.
Yeah, and the minutes are a sense of the meeting. It's not that, Kate turned around and scratched her head and then said to Dee, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's a sense of the meeting, and the only thing that needs to be captured that's important is any motions, who made the motion, who seconded, and the result of the vote. That's,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like Gergana and I had a call about the swag stuff and she did it on AI. And I don't even remember what the topic was, but we spent the first 10 minutes or so on something having nothing to do with, why it was just a personal thing. And you get the notes from AI, and that was the main topic. of the meeting.
And then I'll change the name.
That was the highlight.
Great.
So, all right, one other request, just since new year, new chair, it's just an opportunity to take a step back. So to the extent, and maybe we can talk about this at the June meeting, any of you have thoughts about anything different, things that you really love and want to keep, it can just be, nothing needs to change, it's all wonderful, but this is just sort of an annual opportunity to say, is there something we want to do differently? So if you can just think about that.
And including, we decided that we were going to meet in August because we have Windmill Weekend coming up in September and we need to do our planning. And I think this year we took maybe the month of January off.
Mhm.
Think about what's gonna work for you in your schedule. And again, I'll say this again, we're volunteers. So if you are going to Australia or Antarctica, and you're gonna be away, we're gonna all step in and help each other.
Mhm.
So,
No problem.
We should remind them that we have to reach out to register for the weekend with them.
yes.
Did you pay big taxes?
Alright,
And
yes.
What is that for?
All
Are we
right.
getting your stickers?
No.
That's just
Oh,
a
you
matter
are
of
to-
signing up.
We did, we.
Because I can do that.
Well, we-
Just did
It's,
one.
we'll talk about it.
Okay.
We just did ours.
I don't think we have,
All right.
You don't have to do both.
Well, we.
Are we adjourned?
So we can do this, and she said, no.
so should we?
So we're
adjourn
all
the
done.
meeting?
Yes.
Okay, motion to adjourn the
Could I
meeting.
have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion.
Okay,
There
all
we
in
go.
favor?
Aye.
I'll help you if you object.
Who seconded?
Sue.
Susan.